Shalom Yasharala Yahawada, Brother Malak, back with a biblical lesson. I want to give glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash, all glory to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. This lesson is going to be glorified. I'm going to name it Glorified. Glorified. And it's one of my personal favorite prophecies to go into. And I tend to go to them a lot because every brother, every sister has their favorite portion in these scrolls and these prophecies. Everybody has their personal favorite apostle, their personal favorite prophet, their personal favorite story or account that took place. And mine is the God bodies. God bodies. That's my favorite portion. To be glorified, to be God's. And it's going to happen. You Israelites, we are going to be God's. Soon come the glorification, the glory, glorified, the elect who were predestinated from the beginning of the earth. Let's just start right there. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 4 and 5 says that the elect, you know what, let's grab it. The elect were predestinated from the beginning. You know what, I'll just roughly paraphrase it, man. The elect were predestinated from the beginning. So, you know, if you that's why we really don't trip. We really don't trip if you don't comprehend these scrolls. If you don't get the message, that means it's not for you. It's not for you if you can't get it. It's only for the elect. And let's go with Job. We can go with Job 12. Job 12, verse 16. It says, with him is strength and wisdom. With him is strength and wisdom. Job 12:16, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So if you don't get it, Yahweh don't want you to get it. If you're being deceived, Yahweh don't want you to get it. Yahweh don't want you to get it. It's that simple. Let's grab another precept, precept upon precept. Precept upon precept, man. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Let's go to Romans. It's funny, I'm going to, Romans. I've been watching this series. I'm watching a good series called Spartacus. And we know that, anytime they talk about slaves in that day and age, they're referring to the Israelites. But Esau, the damn devil, he whitewashes the Spartans and he whitewashes the gladiators. And we all know that the gladiators, most of them were Israelites, were black and brown people. Just as today, you have your modern day gladiators, which would be boxers, basketball players, football players, baseball players, sports athletes, or athletes in general, Olympian athletes. These are your modern day gladiators. And majority of them are what? They're Israelites. So we know back in the day of, Sparta, Spartacus, and coming to find out Spartacus was a real man. His name was Spartacus. He was really from, the region that they say he's from, which is Threscia or something, Threscian. And I'm willing to believe, all through the series, they refer to them as slaves. And we know all through history, the slaves were always so-called black people, the Israelites. So we know the Spartans, Spartacus, We already found out that Hannibal, Hannibal, the one that gave the Romans hell, which was power from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Let's just be honest. All of the power, all of the spiritual power, and all of the amazing feats, it all comes from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. It's that simple. It all comes from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. It's that simple. So Hannibal, Spartacus, the Spartans, the Maccabees, even to King David and the mighty men. King David and the mighty men, man, they all had the spiritual power from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. So this is why they were doing, this is why they were able to do what they were doing. Because of spiritual power. But I wanted Romans make my point that if you don't understand this knowledge, this wisdom, it's because Yahweh doesn't want you to understand it. Anyway, Romans 11, verse 7 and 8, it says, "What then, Yasharallah or Israel, you Israelites, have not obtained that which he seeks for?" And what do you Israelites seek for? What do you so-called Hispanics? Oh, and let's bring that up too. They were Hispanics too, man. So-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, those gladiators, Spartans. Yeah, all the tribes mingled and mixed with each other. Don't get it twisted, man. The Northern Kingdom, tribe of Ephraim, tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of the Northern Kingdom, man. The Northern Kingdom, they were gladiators and Israelites too. When Christopher Columbus came over here to America, he didn't just come over here easy. He had to go against the tribes. The Gadites, the Reubenites, Ephraimites, Simeonites, the Issacharites, so-called Native Indians, which are black and brown people, Israelites, Hispanics, Native Indians, Negroes. So, just to bring it back, they also was in these armies of gladiators, gods, the wrath of the gods. It says, Romans 10, verse 7, it says, "What then Israel have not obtained that which he seeks for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded." So Yahweh has blinded these Israelites that can't get it. Remember, the Bible is about the elect. It's all about the elect. You have the elect of the righteous and the elect of the wicked, the antagonists and the protagonists. The antagonists and the protagonists. Superman, Lex Luthor. Batman, the Joker. Jacob, Esau. Esau and Jacob. Romans chapter 10, Salah. Romans chapter 10, 7 and 8, it says, "What then Israel have not obtained that which he seeks for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded." That election is the 144,000. Remember what it says in Revelation 7:4, that they were sealed. 12,000 men out of all the royal regal tribes of Israel were sealed. 12,000 out of each tribe: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Gad, Reuben. These are the elect, the 12,000 that are sealed, which are going to be, well, they're part of the elect, because you also have the 1/3, the citizenship. You have the elect citizenship, and then you have the elect government body that's going to rule with Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. So part of the election is the 144,000, and then the rest of the election is the citizenship, the elect citizens. It says in that coming kingdom of HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. It says, "What then Israel have not obtained it, that which he seeks for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, Yahweh, God, Yahweh has given them the spirit of slumber." So when your family members don't get it, don't get mad at them. When your friends don't get it, don't be mad at them. When whoever you talk to or deal with don't get it, don't be mad at them. Just keep it pushing. Yahweh has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, ears that they should not hear unto this day. And this is why when these devils, and devil means deceiver, man. Devil means deceiver. That's all devil means. It's not some redhead with horns with a pitchfork in hell. It means deceiver. So when these devils, and I'm referring to the Edomites and all of the nations that conspires with them against the house of Israel and the house of Judah, when they see the Israelites waking up, and they know that Yahweh, our power, our God, is really dealing with us. They know that those that understand this truth are really special. They know that those that understand this truth are really special. And I'm talking about those that's at those that's at the top. You know, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers. You know, they know when they see, you know, us awakening prophecy, when they see those individuals, you know, such as myself, such as others, such as the elect, Yahweh willing, we be those men and the elect women. When they see the Israelites waking, they know that these people are special because they did everything in their power to keep us away from our heritage, our history. They did everything in their power to confuse. They did everything in their power to keep the Israelites sleep. So they know when they see the Israelites, you know, being woke, understanding, they know that that is power on high. And this is why we don't trip. We don't trip when you Israelites don't get it. Because why? Yahweh has given you the eyes of slumber. Let's read it again. Romans 10 verse 8. According as it is written, Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, Yahweh, have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, ears that they should not hear unto this day. So that's why we don't trip over you non-elect. Yahweh don't want you. But bringing it all the way back home to the topic at hand, God bodies glorified. So we do this work, man, teach and preach this gospel, live according to this gospel to the best of our ability in this modern world. We're trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability in corrupted flesh in a modern world. Check that out. I'll say that again. We're trying to keep the ancient holy laws to the best of our ability in this corrupted flesh, in this corrupted world, in this modern world. So we're not going to keep all of the laws 100%. Some of our covenant laws we have to keep in the home, and some of them in the homeland. So this is why we don't hang our hat on strictly the laws, the statutes, the commandments like IUIC and other groups do. We know that everything is balanced, everything goes hand in hand. It's the laws, the statutes, the commandments to the best of your ability is faith, prayer, the fruits of the Spirit. And that's everything in your works. And that is your works. Everything goes hand in hand. So let's get to it. 1 Corinthians 15. And like I said earlier, this always be on my spirit, man. You know, because we're gods, man. Psalms 82:6. I have said ye are gods. John 10:34. Isn't it written that you are gods? We are glorified gods in training. We are glorified gods in training, or soon to be glorified gods in training. 1 Corinthians 15:51-54, it says, behold, I show you a mystery. We should not all sleep. That means die. It says, but we shall all be changed. It says, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, split second, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Those that, you know, that believe this gospel, that taught this gospel, they're going to be raised and glorified first. It says, and we shall be changed with them. It says, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. immortality, man. And that's what this thing is about. It's about being in the kingdom with Yahweh Shai Mashiach and being glorified, man. You see, you hear, because there's nothing on this side that's worth what's to come, what's coming. Philippians 3:21, it says, for our conversation is in heaven. We don't care about this, chiefly, we really don't care about this temporary place. This place is temporary, man. Everything here is temporary. Look at all the people that were here. Even, and they could have been great people in the world, they could be great people in the world, Look at your celebrities and your athletes and your moguls and whatnot. All of the stuff that they did, that was great. Let's not get besides ourselves. You look at people like Steve Jobs. Matter of fact, we're going to start off with the Israelites. You look at people like all of the Israelites that created all of the inventions. Think about all the Israelites that created all of the inventions from slavery all the way up to now. How they created everything, but they're gone. Temporary, everything's temporary. You go into Steve Jobs. You go into, Mark Zuckerberg, he's still alive. Bill Gates still alive. Yahweh has still given them, breath, life. But even to them, eventually when we all transition, man, it's temporary. Everything we did is temporary. If it's not, if it wasn't, if what we're doing on earth is not, if what we're doing on earth is not parallel, I like that. If what we're doing on earth is not parallel to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, then it's temporary. It really didn't have no means. Your works follow, as the scrolls say. It says your works follow you. Your works will give testimony. I'm talking to you Israelites, because Yahweh only deals with the Israelites. Chiefly, he deals with the Israelites, but he is all sovereignty. So he can deal with who he want to deal with, and he has showed and did it before. When you think about Jonah and the whale, how he dwelt with the who were they, the Midianites? I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But Yahweh can deal with who he want to deal with. He's all sovereignty, but he deals with the Israelites. So even to you heathens, make sure you doing what you need to do as far as blessing God's people, helping God's people, teaching. Well, you can't teach us nothing, but as for those that's in the ignorance, if you know the truth, you can try to awaken the Israelites. But most of you won't do it anyway because it don't benefit you. But those are things that's going to matter. The spiritual works, the spiritual things, that's what matters. That's what's going to, when you go before the judge, which, these people call him Jesus Christ, but his name is a Mashiach Yahweh Shai, a black man, a black man, bronze skin, dark bronze skin with woolly hair, from the tribe of Judah, which is a black tribe, Negro tribe. Revelations 5:5, Hebrews 7:14. When you go before that judgment seat, that's what's going to be, what you did is what on earth is what's going to be accounted for. But Philippians chapter 3, verse 20-21, it says, for our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Lord. It says Jesus Christ, but we know that's ancient Paleo Hebrew. We know his name is a Hebraic name. It's a Hebrew name. It can't be a Greek name. It can't be an English Greek name because he wasn't an Englishman or a Greek. Revelations 5:5, Hebrews 7:14. He was a Judite, a Hebrew, an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, a black man. They are black people. They're so-called black people. That says, who shall change our vile body, this corruption, spiritual talk, parabolic talk? Who shall change this vile body, this corrupted body, that it may be fashioned unto like his glorious body? That's why he tells you in the scrolls that I would not meet thee as a man. Yahushua says, I would not meet thee as a man, because he's not coming back as a man. You know, he came first as a sheep, but now he's coming back as a lion raging war. It says, who shall change our vile body that it may be fashioned unlike to his glorious body? That's the glorified body. That should, you know, that the elect Israelites will be changed in a split second. We're going to be changed in a split second, Yahweh willing. We be some of those men. We be a part of that number. It says, who should change our vile body, that's spiritual talk, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body? That's perfection, to be perfected. It says, according to the working where he, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is able even to subdue all things unto himself. And that's what he's going to do when he comes. He's going to subdue everything. Daniel chapter 7. And he was given a kingdom that all nations, tongues, etc., 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 shall bend the knee, shall follow. And as it says every tongue will confess and every knee will bow to a black man. And I like saying it like that and throwing it like that, because you couldn't write this damn story, Salak. It's not damn, but you couldn't write this holy story no other way. The very people that the world hates, the very people that the world envies, the very people that the world envies, that the world hate. When I say world, when I refer to world, I'm talking about these nations, these heathens, according to Psalms 83, 1-6. According to Psalms 83, 1-6, according to Revelations 2:9, according to Revelations 3:9. The very people that these nations hate, or that the world hates, which the nations, these heathens, is the same Savior, the Savior that everyone knows as Jesus Christ. And I'm trying to put it together, but I'm kind of hot right now, sitting in this sunlight. But the very people that the world hates, or the nations hate, these Gentiles hate, this envy really is envy. It's really what it is. They envy that we're the chosen people. They envy that we have all the abilities and capabilities. They envy the covenant. They envy. They love us, but they envy. They envy, but they love us. You know, they love our rhythm and jazz, but they don't want our blues, as some people put it. But the story is written so amazingly that the very people that the heathens hate, and this is for you Christians, for you Gentiles that's in this false religion called Christianity, you know, whitewashed plantation Christianity. The very people that the world hates, that these heathens hate, is the same I can't even word it right. I can't even word it right because I'm just I'm flabbergasted and befuddled. Flabbergasted, befuddled, taken away of how astonishing this story, this lot is. Like you can't write nothing better than this. Like Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah is the ultimate writer, man. He's the ultimate writer. He's the ultimate writer. He's the ultimate chess player, man. So I'm gonna get it out. You know, the very the same people that the same nation or the same people that these heathens the world hates during further prophecy, these same people are going to unleash the prodigal son. Put it like that. The same people that the world hates, that these heathens envy, is going to be the exact person, if you will, that's going to come out of this same people. The prodigal son. He's going to be a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. I just want to see each and every prejudiced, racist face when that sky cracks and those chariots, those spaceships come down with laser beams and they see all those black angels and they see, you know, who they call Jesus Christ. I would pay top dollar to see that. I would pay top dollar to see every racist, every prejudiced face when those black angels come out of those ships, those chariots, and who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ when they see that afro, that white afro, and that black skin come down from the sky. That would be priceless. It's going to be priceless. It's going to be priceless. But you know what? I'm going to end it with that, man. That's what we do this work for. That's what we strive to eventually receive. We strive to eventually receive glorification, to be glorified, to get our covenant, man. Put it like that, the covenant, the promises, the covenant, the perks. That's us. It's ours. It was promised to Abraham. It's our lot. It's our stuff. It's our stuff. It's just what it is. It's our identity. It's our heritage. It's our stuff, man. Give our stuff back. It's just what it is. You know what? I'll end it with that. I was going to go to Psalms 82:6, but the Spirit wants me to go there, so I'll go there. And I'll end it with that. Romans. Slach. Romans. Luke, Mark, Acts, John. Where's it? I'm just at Romans. Luke, Mark. And they name. This is not even their names either. This is their Greek English names. They have Hebrew names: Mark, Matthew, Bartholomew. They all have Hebrew names. When you grab the Sefer Bible. But I can't even find it. And I'm tired of going through the thing. So I'll roughly paraphrase it. Romans 9:4, man. It says who was given the covenant, the promises, the covenant, the glory. That's the Israelites. Romans 9:4. Who are Israelites, who pertain the adoption, the glory, the covenant, the services, the giving of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Not you heathens, not you Gentiles. The bloodline Israelites, the 12 tribes. That's our birthright. There you go. That's what it is. Our birthright, our covenant, our promises, our stuff that has been stolen and whitewashed. So like I said, man, when those skies crack open and those chariots, you know, these UFOs, as these devils like to call them UFOs, they're chariots, they're the angelic transports of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. They're spoken of all through the scrolls. They're spoken of all through the scriptures. The angels are coming back in these chariots, the black angels and the black gods return. You know, you got some of these stupid idiots. They keep calling the black angels. They keep calling Yahweh Shai and Yahweh the Anunnaki. All this talks about the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki is coming, the Anunnaki. And it ain't no Anunnaki. Whatever y'all call it, man. That's not what it is, man. That's not prophecy. The Anunnaki is not prophecy. But what's prophecy is the return of the black Yahweh Shai and the black angels and the chariots, the UFOs. Now that's prophecy. And the elect is going to be beamed up and glorified. That's prophecy. That's written. All that other stuff they keep talking about, the Anunnaki, reptilians, and all of that garbage, that's not prophecy. You know what? I'm gonna grab it. I'll end it with that. Not Romans, but Revelation, man. Revelation. So that's why we do this, man. To get that glory, man. Our glory, which is rightfully ours. And we already glory in our lowest state. Peep game, man. Peep that. The Israelites, we already glory in our lowest state. We're in our lowest state right now, and we still glory. That's how you know we're the children of God, man. We're the people of God. We're the children of God. We're God's people. Even in our lowest state, we're not inside our borders. We're not in Jerusalem. We're not in Israel. We're cast out. And we still glory. Still glory. And I shouldn't have to explain to you. You should already know. Even in our lowest state, we still glory. But Revelations 19, it says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And that white horse is parabolic talk for power, glory. It's not an actual horse. It says, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he does judge and make war. It says his eyes were a flame of fire, and his head had many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, DNA. He was clothed with a vesture dipped in DNA, man, dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of Yahweh. And the armies which were in heaven, those are the black angels, those UFOs, those orbs that you see. It says, and the armies of heaven followed him, black, you know, y'all call him Jesus, right? Black Jesus, which his name is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach. It says, and he was clothed in fine linen, white and clean. It says, and out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the heathen, the nations. You know, all those nations, all of the heathens that have taken crafty counsel against the children of Israel, according to Psalms 83, 1-6, Revelations 2:9, Revelations 3:9. Right now, they living like kings and princesses and queens off the blood, sweat, and tears of the Israelites. These heathens is living good out here, man. Fatness of the earth. Living in big mansions, nice cars, nice neighborhoods, vacations, riches, wealth, fatness of the earth. And I ain't even talking about you low levels. I'm talking about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, DuPonts, Oppenheimers, Waltons. You know what you have done to the children of Israel. So when Yahushua returns, he's coming back for vengeance for what was done. It says, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the heathen, the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And when you go to Chat GPT, and you don't even need Chat GPT, because the elders, man, the apostles, the elders, and we, that come up under our elders and apostles, we knew that the reason why he's coming back to rule with a rod of iron is because you're going to still have heathens, Gentiles, that don't want to see Yahushua rule. How about that? You're still going to have Gentiles that's going to be going off, not keeping the laws. Still want to do what they want to do, eat, cook, eat rats, eat rodents, not keep the Sabbath, not keep the high holy days, not come up for the Feast of Tabernacle. So this is why he has to rule with a rod of iron, because you're still going to have rebellion, wickedness. It says, with it he shall rule with a rod of iron, and he tread the winepress of his fierceness, of the fierceness and the wrath of the Almighty God. It says, and he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So that's what it is. He's coming back in a glorified body, just to bring this all the way back home to the topic. Glorified bodies. This is what we strive to do, to get, to reach, to achieve glory, glorified God bodies, perfection, immortality. Immortality. And this is what the angels and Yahushua is coming back to do. They're coming back in glorified bodies to wreak havoc upon Babylon, chiefly upon Edom, upon Esau, if you want the truth. I've been long-winded with this lesson. Usually I'm always long-winded with this lesson because I love this lesson, or this topic. The UFOs, the chariots, the glorification, the glory bodies, the God bodies, the powers that's going to come with it. You're going to be able to jump high. We're going to be athletes, man. We're going to be athletes. And I'm, technically I am an athlete in my own right. But even better than that, I'm an Israelite. How about that? I'm an Israelite. But even we're gonna be athletes, and everybody knows that the so-called black men or so-called black men are superior athletically, really superior in every avenue, honestly. But the world knows that so-called black men, so-called black women, so-called Negroes, Israelites, you're Israelites, are very superior when it comes to athleticism and being athletes. I mean, that's just a given, that's obvious. But when we get those glorified bodies, man, we're going to be the X-Men, man, the X-Men. We're going to be athletes to the 100th power. You're going to be an athlete. You're going to be an Olympian athlete to the 100th power, man. You're going to super sight, super jump, be able to climb mountains, trees, with spiritual power, not with equipment. Spiritual power. Glorified bodies, gods. I have said ye are gods. Remember, Yahushua said, I will not meet thee as a man. He's coming back as a super god, man. We're gonna be a nation of Thanos. Think about that, man. That's what's inside the covenant. That's what's inside the promises. A nation. What can you do against a nation of Thanos? Just think about if you had think if you had a million Supermans. You had a million Supermans or a million Thanoses, rather. That's what the Israelites are going to be in the kingdom. But I've been long-winded, and I'm going to cut it short with that, man. I I want to give all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakat Kadash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. And these devils know too, because that's why they got, you know, these machines, machine dogs, machine robots, all of this AI, machine robots, machine robocops. They was showing us this in the 90s. All of these damn robocops and machines and AI and cyborgs and all of that stuff. They know that the elect are going to get the spiritual power. So call Halam La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadas, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai.